Meet Nour. She is an approximately 8-year-old Arabian mare who was rescued from a kill pen. She has most likely been abused in her past and is very timid and nervous. I am going to be training her for a few months to help her gain confidence and hopefully give her training under saddle. As you can tell, she was pretty nervous to start with and very stressed. So I began working with her. I couldn't get near her to start with, so I just kind of walked around to show her I wasn't going to hurt her or anything. And she has been touched before and has had some training, but she is very scared of people to start with and has obviously had some traumatic things happen in the past. So I'm trying to get a little closer here, and she's just very worried and kind of avoiding me. So instead of trying to keep going after her, I just let her move away so she didn't feel like she was being trapped or anything. And she let me get much closer here, which was good. She did decide to walk away, but that's perfectly fine. Here she really let me come up, so that was nice. And here I'm kind of moving my hand up and down to prepare her for touching her neck. And she let me rub her neck really nice. And again decided to leave because she didn't feel quite comfortable. But that's okay, and we tried again, and this time she actually sniffed my hand. And then I backed away to show her I wasn't going after her and she didn't have to move away herself. By the way, a lot of these videos are sped up to save time. She's starting to get better with petting, and a lot of it is just repetition. And there I gave her a release because she turned and looked at me, which is really nice. I don't want her head to be just towards the fence trying to avoid me. I really like it when she is curious and looks at me. And here I start working on a pull release, which is asking her to lower her head slightly. Horses get really tense in their neck, and these pull releases help them to relax a lot. And you can see I gently push until she gives me a little bit of softness, and there she just kind of softened and licked and chewed, so I took away all pressure. And that's where I ended the session.
Hey, pretty girl.
About an hour or two later, I went to have our second session. She actually came walking up to see me, and I was able to go right away and let her sniff my hand. So I started the session by again just walking up and trying to pet her. Here she's showing me that she's a little uncomfortable by the way she's holding her head against the fence, but not too bad. And there I'm kind of working on trying to get her to look at me a little bit. And now to help with that, I'm asking for a hind quarter yield. Very slowly, just adding energy. And here she starts to move forward, so I keep adding intention at her hindquarters, and they're really nice. She turned around to face me, and I love that. So back to petting her. She's doing pretty good here. Here she looked at me super nice, so I gave her a release. And again, lots of repetition with this. So this wasn't perfect, but I like how she kind of thought about stepping in towards me. And I decided to give her a break, and she actually ate some hay and drank. So we went back to work, asking for the hindquarter yields again. And she did not yield her hindquarters, but I love how she walked towards me. And here she's really nicely following with her head. We actually got some nice steps to the side here. This hindquarter yield was very nice. I love how she actually stepped under. I started working on the pole release here, and she did that quite nice as well. And I am just so thrilled with this. She started actually joining up with me and walking beside me perfectly. And it's honestly hard to believe because to start with, I couldn't touch her at all. another really nice yield here, and she's really starting to relax around me and start to feel safe. And I'm really starting to play with getting her to follow me, and she's just doing incredible. Here again, she did so amazing. She started following me nicely, and I even kind of weaved back and forth a bit to see if she was in tune with me, and she was. And she followed me a bunch, really nice. And I decide to end here with a little turn on the haunches. So for our last session of the day, I decide to take the halter off. So it turns out she has an old scar on her face from the halter. It's really sad, and it appears that there was some really harsh noseband or chain there. But she stood very calm and nice as I took it off. And I have been trying to put the halter below that mark because she acts like it's still tender and I don't want to cause any pain. And it turns out Miss Nour knows how to bow to get grass. What a silly girl. And I finished up our session by just a little bit more with hindquarter yields and leading a little. She followed me really nice here, and I ended on that.